RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
What's up? Hello, guys. This is Tara Devlin. How does the show sound? Okay, you guys will tell me in a minute. We meet here. Well, this is unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, and humanity. And yeah, we bring the receipts to prove it. So we meet here. Our regular scheduled time is around this time, 8 p.m. in the 8 p.m. vicinity, Eastern Standard Time on Friday evenings. I apologize for being a little late. So I thank you for your patience and support. I just couldn't get the show going. My fingers weren't working. And I had to, it's a lot of prep. That's all. Okay. So if you can, look at my hair. Oh, God. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin to help keep the real liberal media going and growing. And you guys let me know if we sound okay. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Mark C. on the chat. Thank you, guys. And I see the chat filling up. If you are on any other platform, come on over to youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster, and that's the chat I'll be checking in with most often and interacting with. And we're going to have Poppy Champlin on the show soon, comedian extraordinaire, amazing person, all around decent human being, and she's going to come in here to help talk me off the ledge. I don't know. So, you know what I mean? I need that. You guys know that. Please. This is like, I call this therapy for the resistance, but it's really my therapy, really. It is. I don't know what I would do without you. And thank you already. We got Jim with the super chat. Thank you, Jim. And thank you, JD, for your super chat. Jim says, yay. Yes, I agree. I'm glad we're getting together. And JD, thank you. JD says, hello, Tara and people in the chat. And JD is a lucky bastard. That's all I have to say. You can figure it out for yourself why. You know why, JD. I'm kind of jealous. I was actually, there was a few things on my agenda tonight on the list. Usually, there's so much. It's an embarrassment of riches. Like when I used to run the Republican Dirty Tricks page before it was killed by Facebook, I used to say, we'll know that the world is heading in the right direction when we run out of content. Republican Dirty Tricks, we never run out of content. Just like, I don't know. Well, there's never enough stuff to talk about. And all right, let me just do a couple of plugs to help the show keep going and growing for anybody who's new. So, like I said, we meet here on Friday evenings for the most part. That's our standard time. If nothing else, we will have our Friday show, no doubt, unless I'm sick or one of the cats are sick. That's happened before. I had to take little Tara Jr. to the emergency room one time. That, he's fine. So hopefully that that hasn't been a habit. You know what I'm saying. So, and then we'll do shows during the week, as at least one during the week. I try to do as many as possible. But this week it was tough. I could only do Wednesday, but other weeks we've had a show pretty much, well, I don't know if we've had it every night. We have had shows, 4 shows, 3 shows. Okay. But it really is to get together and keep on, I guess. I know everybody's struggling in this time. I'm not alone. You're not alone. And yeah, I think getting together like this helps we really are building a great community. And that's probably one of the things I'm most proud of about the show is that I've met so many people and really decent, amazing people. That we all get together and, it's more like, I don't know, we're having fun, hanging out. Well, no, maybe, I am on blood pressure pills, so I need them. And thank you, Mark C. Mark C. says, a proud patient, right, a proud patron since 2018, before COVID, BC, before COVID. I think that's amazing. I mean, what was life like then? My God. A proud patron since 2018 BC before COVID. Right. I like the way you put that. That's how we're gonna do it. We'll do it now. If anybody is living in, let's say, Australia, I know it's like about, what is it, 8 hours ahead in Australia or more? Let us know. What's it like in the future? Are there jetpacks? Right? Is there hope in the future? All right, so just a couple of things I want to talk about. Like I said, if you can become a patron, please do. Also, the other thing that helps is giving the show a good review on iTunes. That helps. And also, what else? Oh, sharing the show with your friends. Yeah, that's how we do it. And I do notice that, like, we're getting more people hanging out in the chat room. I think that's great. And more people that I don't know. I know you guys. I know a lot of your names, like Winston, Errol, Jim. Who else is here? Haiku, of course. Mark C, Suzanne. Who else is in the chat? Of course, Jim JD, of course. And we'll have, more people. But I've noticed a lot of names I don't recognize. So that's good. All right. I hope we'll get to know everybody. Okay, let me calm down. There's a few things. I don't know. Let's start off with. Okay, this is what I have on my mind today. This is what I thought we would talk about. One, I wanted to talk about. Well, we'll talk about Kyle Rittenhouse, the disgusting sociopath. Okay, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Republicans in general being used as Russian propaganda. When the words coming out of your mouth, your lie hole, aka, are used by the world's worst autocrats as validation for their war crimes, you might want to look at yourself, Republicans. But, that's asking them to be decent somehow. So we'll get to that. So I know because Poppy's calling in about 15 minutes. But let me just start. Let's start with, and I'm sure Poppy has other things on her mind as well. So usually she has some, funny stories and songs to keep us motivated. So I'm not putting Poppy on the spot. If you don't have any songs, that's fine, Poppy. Okay. Did you see what Kyle Rittenhouse posted the other day? Or was it yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday. They all merge. Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. He is and also a hero now of the right wing. They're fascists. We're in a fascist coup. I hate to tell you, I know we know about it. We're, at least now people are openly discussing it as a fascist coup. Yes, Matt M., thank you for your super chat. Matt says, let's send Kyle over to Ukraine to protect the auto parts store. Exactly. Well, Kyle Rittenhouse really did give a command performance in his sham of a trial. I couldn't believe that trial. I don't know how people with darker pigment don't, we've discussed this on the show before, right? So people with darker pigment, just throughout our history in the United States of serfs and lords, of course, we have our democracy and the promises in our founding documents have only been aspirational. They've never been actualized. And throughout our history, despite the oppression, the systemic oppression written into the founding documents and our laws, the people with darker pigment have worked within the confines of that system to make it better, always. Even after the Civil War, before Jim Crow, before what was it, the Compromise of 1876. Or is it 1872? It's escaping me. Somebody on the chat will refresh my memory. When the troops were pulled out of the South, as that was part of the compromise, so effectively ending Reconstruction, because that's really why we are where we are in this country, because we have never finished the process of Reconstruction. We barely even started. But there were African or people with darker pigment representatives and senators after the Civil War. Of course, the decades and the domestic terrorism that ensued chased them out of office. We'll be right back. All right, guys, this is Tara Devlin hanging out. So why did I bring that up about what's going on? Oh, because we've never finished. Oh yeah, the Reconstruction, and then talking about Kyle Rittenhouse's trial, the sham of this trial. This kid, this overgrown toddler with a bloodlust, put his pudgy, disgusting sociopath carcass somewhere he didn't belong, and murdered 2 people. And he would have murdered 3, except the 3rd person survived. So he just crippled the guy for life. And this son of a bitch is, of course, Republicans. They do this all the time. They're the professional victims. This little sociopath proves us right. Not that I like to be right, but he tweeted, proving us right about his fake ass crying routine. That I mean, I never saw anybody cry like that. He wasn't even crying. Where were the tears? It's like someone faking. This is what I think a human being looks like when they cry, because I saw it on TV once. And I never saw somebody snorting and snotting and huffing and puffing and blowing out all with no snot coming out. No snot, no tears, just a lot of movement. It reminded me of, if you've ever seen the video of the murderer, Chris Watts, who killed his family, killed his little babies, his little, I don't know how old they were, 5 years old, 3 years old. It's horrific. And his wife, choked out his wife, choked out his kids. And then when he was being interrogated by the police, they were like, You haven't even shed a tear. And he, same boo-hoo, like Haiku says on the chat, boo-hoo voodoo. Just fake. And you could tell. Yeah, that's the thing, because human beings, when you have that feeling like there's something wrong here. And if you watched, speaking of Chris Watts, the murderer, like Kyle Rittenhouse, the murderer, and you watch a video of him saying, I want my kids home. I want my family home, wherever they are. If you've taken them, bring them back. And you could see the dead eyes. That's Kyle Rittenhouse. What the hell? And he was, of course, he was acquitted, not for the fact that, I mean, the judge in the trial, I watched that trial, the entire trial, and it was so, that's why I brought it up, about Reconstruction, because I don't know how people with darker pigment contain themselves, the rage, frankly, watching that trial, it was enraging. The fix was in from the beginning. With this old cracker putting his thumb on the scale for this little pudgy murderer. But yet you see our fellow citizens who have darker pigment, they're working within the constraints of the system to make it better. I know Republicans, they have to turn the Black Lives Matter movement into a riot. Whereas the Trumpanzee Nuremberg rally and January 6th insurrection, that's, I guess, a bunch of patriots on a tourist visit. And I don't know. So they get a pass there too. Putting aside the fact that, we know that there were a lot of agent provocateurs in the crowds of the Black Lives Matter movement because these people were arrested. And that's only the ones that were caught, shooting into police stations and breaking windows. These were, this is what they do. It's like what Putin says, what the... how what Putin is going to do, just listen to what he accuses you of doing, accuses Ukraine of doing. That is a Republican tactic. And, liberals aren't out there. We don't do things like that because we're actually out there knocking on doors. We're out there trying to make a more perfect union. We're, trying to work within the system, not trying to kick people off the voting rolls and make sure that people, let's say, for example, those who have gun permits don't vote, right? This is what Republicans do. They want, for example, they call for voter ID, and one of the IDs you can use is you can use a gun registration in certain states, but you can't use your student ID. Okay? Give me a break. And if that's not targeting, we know it is. They've been up to their dirty tricks since the beginning. So right after the Civil War, you have people with darker pigment running for office and winning and trying to make this country live up to its ideals, not just on paper, but in reality. And again and again and again, being terrorized and being suppressed and attacked, and the propaganda of turning the Black Lives Matter movement into a bunch of riots, because that's been successful. I don't know if you realize this, because I hear it on let's say Tom Hartman's show. I heard the other day somebody calling in saying, "Oh yeah, ask the people of Seattle or Portland about their burned down city." In their mind, cities all over the country are smoldering ruins because of Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter movement was terrifying to the right-wing fascist pricks. I know I repeat myself, because it involved everybody, all pigments together. That's why they had to turn it into they had to vilify it. Because they didn't want those sitting on the sidelines watching television and saying, yeah, that's wrong, Black Lives Matter. That's the worst thing that can happen for a fascist coup. For the people to get together, regardless of pigment. So anyway, the point is, as far as Kyle Rittenhouse, is like, what? I don't know how people stand it. I can't stand it. I really can't. But I'm walking around looking like Casper the Ghost. So I know I have that privilege. Like when a cop pulls me over, I don't fear that I'm going to be shot. So I don't have that fear. I look like this, But if I had darker pigment and just the constant barrage, the hypocrisy, the assault, everything, on everything, the hypocrisy of, like, for example, with future Justice Jackson, who was rated highly qualified just today, I think, for her future position on the Supreme Court. And these Republicans, hold on a second. This is Tara Devlin. Thanks for hanging out. Unapologetic liberal talk. So, as far as, like, for example, we're talking about Judge Jackson, future Justice Jackson, who will be confirmed. In order for her to be considered, do you think she's somebody that's going to get up there and scream, "I like beer"? And these Republicans have the nerve to say that she needs to go through an extensive vetting process, as if she hasn't already. Just being her and getting to the position she's in. You can't just be good. You gotta be exceptional, above bar, above the grade. You can't be a Amy Coney bitch face Barrett. Basic bitch, resting bitch face Barrett. I'm trying. I'm working it out. I haven't settled on a moniker yet. Is it Amy Coney basic bitch face? Is it Amy Coney basic resting bitch face Barrett? Maybe. Yeah, that's funny, right? Amy Coney resting bitch. I can't say it though. Amy Coney resting bitch face Barrett. Or is it I like beer, bread? I like beer. Could you imagine if future Justice Jackson screamed, "I like beer" at her confirmation hearing? It would never happen. But yet you're going to have Republicans that just disdain her right off the bat. And call her, and as if it's a insult, the product of affirmative action. Because they've effectively denigrated that too. When affirmative action, what's wrong with affirmative action? Was the human attempt to make a more perfect union. So, right, Winston, anti-Amy, that's good. Winston Smith on the chat, like from The Handmaid's Tale. Right, but it kind of also reminds me of Annie Ann's pretzels, and I like them. But, then you have Kyle Rittenhouse. Now imagine, if you will, let's take this trip down Fantasy Island with me. And imagine if Kyle Rittenhouse had darker pigment. And he went to anywhere. Into the middle of a Trumpanzee rally. Or let's say Kyle Rittenhouse had darker pigment. And he went to January 6th. He was there. He was an Antifa. The mythical Antifa. The organization that somehow is the greatest terrorist threat, but yet I can't find a fucking place to send my dues. Imagine if he showed up with an assault weapon and murdered 2 people. And tried to murder a third. Would he be lauded as a hero? Would he be acquitted? Absolutely not. Would that bald, cue ball, Nazi-looking Skeletor freak judge be so friendly to him? No. It's ridiculous. Yes, Matt on the chat. I'm partial to Justice Handmaid. Yeah, that's true. Because that says it all right there. Justice Handmaid. All right, let me just show you, in case you missed it. And before we get Poppy on, because she's calling in any minute now. The time just flies, man. La-da-dee. Hold on. You know how Ecamm gets. Look at this son of a bitch. Oh, wait. That's not his fucking thing. Here it is. And look at his Twitter page. I'm a medic. He put the Simpsons cartoon as whatever, his wallpaper. I'm a medic. That's supposed to be an insult, honey. You sociopath. Is that supposed to be him? That's how he owns the libs? It's sort of like Queer Nation, how we took the name queer and we took it back. and turned it into an empowerment term. I'm a medic. Honey, you're a sociopath. And here's some disturbing description. The official Twitter for Kyle Rittenhouse, managed by Kyle and his team? A murderer has a team. Uh-oh, here comes my team. You know who I'm talking about. Here comes the producer. All right, producer, sit down and be good. All right, it starts, right? Relax. I'm not putting up with your shit tonight. It's time to hold the media accountable in court for their malicious lies, defamation, and propaganda. Become a founding donor to the Kyle Rittenhouse Fund, right? Because he's a victim. He is a victim. Kyle Rittenhouse, my trial exposed deep corruption in our media for all to see. What corruption? You're a murderer. You murdered people. Honey, there's nothing to write home about. You should be in jail. Or at therapy in the very least. But this is the tweet. Oh no, it's not Lemonheads. It's it's burning. Wait. It's the burning hole in my pocket thanks to a Joe Biden presidency. Well, and he posted that. Now, what do you think the people who are mourning their loved ones have to say about something like that? You think that's cute? It goes to show you he's sick. And that whole crying, the fake crying without tears, I've seen a lot of people cry. I've seen myself cry. You've seen me cry. Do you cry? And if you're in that much of a frenzy, well, you've ugly cried before. I have. And you're like, if you're like, you got no tears? You got no snot? And there you go. There is Exhibit Z on the fact, proving the fact that it's a show. Everything is a show, just like the entire Republican Party is a show. It's a pantomime of freedom and democracy. Their standard bearer is a con man show, putting on a show for the dupes. Just like I think people want to see me cry now, right? This is where I cry, not because I killed 2 people, but because my ass is on the hook. And I might have to take responsibility for it, And that's something Republicans, their baby sociopath with a full diaper and a bloodlust could never, ever, ever contemplate. All right. Oh, Poppy is on the chat. Hold on. Poppy Champlin. How you doing, Pop? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you hold that on. I didn't. Something's going on with all my tech problems here. It doesn't say. It usually says that there's a call, and it still says 0 calls. So that's why I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Poppy Champlin, ladies and gentlemen, comedian extraordinaire, and
you're the comedian.
No, you are. You're the one who's been on Logo and Oprah. I've never been on Oprah. Yeah, I know, but I've said a full diaper and a bloodlust or something. I mean, that was pretty funny. You gotta write it down. I gotta write it down, right?
You gotta write it down.
I know.
I need somebody in Syracuse. Maybe you'll be ready, huh?
I don't know. It's been a while. I haven't done stand-up in a long time. Yeah. I mean, not that I wouldn't. Oh yeah, You got a show tomorrow. Where?
Yeah. Oh, at the Fireman's Hall in East Greenwich.
Oh, what is this? Is this a one of your shows or your student shows?
No, this is a gal that is a local gal, and she's producing it. So I didn't have to do anything.
Oh, that's
except
good.
send it out there. Yeah.
You just have to show up. That's always nice.
I got to show up and help her market it a little bit.
Oh, that's
bada bang,
cool.
Bada boom.
Nice. And it's just you, and
Now
who's the other one? Who's the other person?
It's me, Doreen Collins, Liana Perez, and Maya Mannion. 4 funny females.
Oh, and where is it? Just, put it
East
out
Greenwich at the Fireman's Hall.
All right. What time? Is it? I don't know.
7:30.
We're just trying to get you some plugs here,
Yeah.
7:30.
7:30. I did a bit of, a little because you usually you'll do some topical.
Oh,
or
wait.
some local-
Hold on, Poppy.
Right.
Hold on, Poppy. We got the music coming.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with Poppy Champlin. Boom. We're back. Poppy Champlin.
Boom.
Go ahead. What were you
So
saying?
I did some. I was saying, you usually start with some local or topical humor to get people oh, she knows about our little state here, our little city.
Yes.
Anyway, East Greenwich. Did you know East Greenwich was once a capital of Rhode Island?
No. Why would I know that? And what?
Well, I know, and I thought you might be interested. And not only that, but Kingston was, Newport was, Bristol was, Providence, and East Greenwich were all capitals of Rhode Island.
Why? How come they changed them? How come they changed them so often? So many times?
They were of the mentality of rotation.
Oh, really? So everyone would have their chance to be be the capital? What is the selling point? Why?
When it was time to have the big meetings and everything to talk about everything.
Huh.
Okay, well, you guys come to our house now.
Well, that's
You come to our
interesting.
house,
Yeah.
I mean, travel, right, because travel around here, we hardly go past the tower. It's like grab a lunch if you're going to be going to Providence. Oh, my God.
Right.
So can you imagine back then? They were with their horses.
Oh, right. Yeah. But I guess it was good.
Yeah.
So that's probably why, though, because it took such a long time to travel, and people are like, well, you get to travel next time. And I get to stay home. That's very fair. Right. I could see the point.
I know.
I like that because that's considerate.
I like that.
You're thinking about, you're not just thinking about yourself. You're trying to think about others. And isn't that the point, right? Isn't that the point of democracy? But did you see that? Did you see that Kyle Rittenhouse video that I was talking about? I mean, you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see the video, but I know what you're talking about. But, I mean, have him crying or what?
Well, he made a big joke about it. That's what he did. He's mocking gas prices. He put himself, or somebody did it, I guess, crying, but as if he's crying about gas prices. So he took that, for his clip from his murder trial. And it's making a big joke out of it that he fucking killed 2 people. He killed people and permanently just whatever, somebody else. He shot the guy's bicep off. I mean, it's horrific.
They gave him nothing.
I know, and he walked. He walked.
Unbelievable.
Can you imagine if he was, like I'm saying, if he was black or anything other than white? Would he walk? No.
He'd be in solitary right now.
Right. He would be, God knows, he would, he would not be welcomed at CPAC, whatever the hell he went to, where they welcomed him as some kind of rock star. Like he was opening for Judas Priest or something, and it was just, and they had explosions and a big giant screen behind him, Kyle Rittenhouse, with all kinds of special effects. And I mean, this is how sick they are. This is sickness. And I don't know if you saw Putin today or yesterday or whatever. He had a rally, he had a Trump rally.
He did.
Yeah,
Trump rally.
It looked like it. Yes, all the and then did you see there was the Ukrainian media is putting out phone calls that Russian soldiers they're calling home, and they're intercepting these calls, and they're releasing them.
Oh no.
Yeah, and some of them.
Really?
Well, this particular set of calls, they were edited together of these Russian soldiers calling home to their girlfriends, wives, or whatever, and mothers, and telling them, about all this stuff they've been looting, and saying how it's like I hit the lottery, and I found like a great giant TV and tools that I was dreaming of, and they've all, I'm sending them home, and the person is like, are you allowed to do this? And he goes, everyone's doing it. Everyone from the top on down is doing it. And then another, it's just disgusting. They're vile. And they say, and one of them says that we took some of them, we caught a couple of them, and we didn't know what to do with them, so we took them in the woods and we shot them. And then, wait, hold on. Shit. All of a sudden an ad started playing. Where the fuck I hate when that happens. Sorry, hold on. I have like 50 million window. Here it is. Okay. Son of a bitch. Okay. So he says that they shot these people, and then the girlfriend or whoever says, well, F them because they're Nazis and drug addicts anyway. That's the response. And that is Putin's propaganda. And it goes to show you, it's like what's happening here. That's what it reminded me of. It was really chilling how everything that Putin is doing, Trump does to this country. Fake news.
Right. Right. Trump probably told him how to do it.
Yeah.
He told him how to do it.
Right. He's just following it.
Gave him a little blueprint plan to follow.
Right. Well, F them. They're Nazis and drug addicts. Nazis.
Wow.
And he's at his rally. That's what they were saying. Oh, we're fighting Nazism. I mean, it's bizarre, but it's like the Nazis, and it's the big lie. The more outrageous the lie, the more people are apt to believe it, because people will say, well, it can't be a lie. It's just so outrageous, so, and they believe it. And a lot of people believe it. Yeah.
It's crazy. Because it's not like, I mean, if it would be like me, Rhode Island, believing that, New Jersey is full of Nazis, and that they're, I mean, I could drive there myself and take a look-see.
Right.
These Russian people aren't even inquisitive as to what is really the truth.
I know.
Like, go take your car to the border and check it out.
Right. Well, yes, but because some of them, they have relatives there, and there's many, so they know. Some people know it's bullshit, of course.
Some people know, yeah. I mean, the people that are revolting, it's awesome, but then they go into prison forever.
I know.
It's like they get a chance to revolt for one day, and
right.
then they're locked up.
Right, like that
and
woman.
Then how many more people are going to be daring to do it?
Well, the woman who held up the sign, you got to think, she was an editor there, and I'm not sure, she's been detained, of course, but that's Russian state television, and she did that in Putin's favorite program. Apparently, that's he loves that.
So why didn't she get in front of the firing squad?
I know, right? But the thing is, she worked there for 20 years, so I mean, it is complicated. What do you do? You got to think about, because people just want to live their lives. And then you have these monsters manipulating everybody, and it's vile. Democracy is supposed to be the antidote to that, but here we go again. Here we have it here, and how can people believe this stuff? They're Nazis and drug addicts.
But we're saying the same thing about these QAnon people that believe some really weird shit.
Yes.
And they're totally down with it. They totally believe it.
And believing that Hillary Clinton is killing. What is she doing? Killing children.
She's got a pedophile. She's got a pedophile, and she eats children. Down in the Pizza Hut.
Right in the Pizza Hut. Hold the adrenochrome. Because that's what they say. I mean, they have these words, adrenochrome. You have to. It's something that. This is how sick they are, because a sick mind, only a sick mind can come up with shit like this. It's something.
Like they gotta be on PCP.
Yeah, they're sick. So can only be. It's some kind of, I don't know, something that can like a hormone or something that can only be harvested from suffering children. All right, this is how
Stop
sick.
it.
Yes.
Stop it.
So they have to make the children in fear, and that's just an extra level of disgust. This is how gross they are. But that's what they come up with.
So
they're vile. They're gross.
That's insane.
And the thing is, apparently this Q asshole, who I'm sure it was just some dude manipulating these freaks, this person or whoever hasn't posted in over a year. They used to hang on his every word. I mean, they're so annoying, all of them. They see these conspiracies. They'll be on, the friggin' 4chan looking for conspiracies everywhere about adrenochrome and like the supposed man behind the curtain. Oh damn! Hold on. Here comes the music. But they don't see the conspiracies right in front of their face. Like they're being played. Hold on. We're back with Poppy Champlin and Tara Jr., who's being annoying again. He's being so annoying. He's looking for adrenochrome. He's trying to make me suffer.
Adrenochrome? What the hell is that?
It's like adrenochrome. Yes,
that's right.
He is.
No,
He
you wouldn't have any adrenochrome because you're not a kid. So
I'm far from a kid.
Harvest anything.
Right? They can only harvest my. I don't know what. They harvest my hope. That's for sure.
Yes, exactly.
They don't leave me any. You see my kitty? Oh, what are you talking? Do you have any cats? You don't have any cats, do you?
No, I've been trying to get a dog though for ever.
Well, you could get a dog. What do you mean?
I can't get a freaking rescue dog.
Why?
Can't rescue a dog because there are so many hoops to jump through to get a freaking dog.
Yeah,
you gotta fill out the application just right.
Yes. But did they not give you a dog or something? Because they will.
Yeah, they brought.
Mm-hmm.
They brought the dog over. They even brought me a dog. They brought it over to
for
my
a trial
house,
run.
I bought it. Yes, I brought it. I bought it a bed and these greenies, and I bought it a chew toy, and he came over. And this was a dog who has been returned to the shelter twice because he's been biting people. And I'm like, give him to me. I'll take it.
And they didn't let you have him? Why?
No, I said, I'll take it. And they're like, oh, no, this was just a meet and greet. He's got another date tomorrow with another couple.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, what?
Because they want to find... Yeah. I mean, I understand.
I think I'm on the season of The Bachelor.
Right. Did you get the rose or something? No,
I didn't even get a rose.
I know. Well, they have these rescue places have real high standards because they don't want it to be returned again. And I was at, and then dogs are harder to adopt because there are more criteria. Like you have to be home. You can't just leave the dog. You have to, you know what I mean? And
how long will the dog be left?
Yes.
2 hours? Wrong.
No, that's good. 2 hours is fine. But you have to be, you can't be away from them for 8 hours. I don't remember the whole thing, but I was at the North Shore Animal League once, and well, not more than once, but when I was adopting one of my cats, and there was a family there, and they were rejected, and all the kids were crying, and The kid was like, they said we can't have a dog because we don't have a home. It was just the saddest thing. I know. So they obviously, they didn't have like a permanent address or something, and probably the family was like, oh, let's get the kids a dog. Maybe it'll make them feel better. And they were rejected, and it was really heartbreaking to watch. But I understood it because they just don't want a dog, especially a puppy, to be adopted, and then bring it back when it's not a puppy anymore. It's harder to adopt, so. Get a cat. Yeah. Get a cat. I mean, cats are easier. They have less, because you can leave them along longer. So, anyway, they don't need to be walked.
So you still couldn't answer the question. Oh, I'm only going to leave the cat for 16 hours.
Right, 16. Well, what's the answer here? Right.
There is no right answer. There is no right answer.
And they're like, she's giving your looks like, 14, 13.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. What's the correct answer? Anyway, whatever. That's what I keep thinking, though, about what's going on in Ukraine. What are these? I mean, these people have lives. What about their animals? What about,
Oh my God! Those animals must be
a
all
disaster.
Just wandering around.
Yes, exactly. It's horrible. I'm sure. People. I mean, of course, the animals are probably left behind. Many of them, and confused, scared. It's just horrible. It's horrible.
Did you see the Russian immigrants at the border? Now there's Mexicans and Russians at the border.
Oh, really? No, I didn't see this. Russians at the border.
Yeah.
Junior, stop
at
that.
Our border.
My cat is biting me.
They can't get in either.
What?
Because Trump put in some sort of law. I can't remember what they said it was, but it's some law that Trump put on that even the Russians can't get in now.
Even though that's weird. I see this. I didn't see this, Poppy. I didn't see this story. Let me see.
I saw it.
Russians
today.
look at you showing me something. Russians are blocked at the U.S. border. Ukrainians are admitted. About 36 would-be asylum seekers from Russia were blocked from entering the U.S. while a group of Ukrainians flashed passports and were escorted across the border. And
that's good.
Well, they probably have, protected status now for refugees in an emergency. Okay. They probably have. That's the law. However they do it. I don't know what it's called, but temporary emergencies.
That makes it a little different.
Yeah, like temporary. I can't remember all the things. The scene reflected a quiet but unmistakable shift in the differing treatments of Russians and Ukrainians who enter Mexico as tourists and fly to Tijuana, hoping to enter the U.S. for a chance at asylum. The Russians, 34 as of Friday, have been camped several days at the busiest U.S. border crossing with Mexico. 2 days after the city of Tijuana officially gently urged them to leave. They sat on mats and blankets. Yeah, like, what do you do? Right. Checking smartphones, chatting and snacking, and with sleeping bags and strollers, as a stream of pedestrian border crossers filed past them. 5 young girls, blah, 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 blah. Days earlier, some Russians were being admitted to the U.S. at this other crossing, while some Ukrainians were blocked. But Friday, Russians were denied. It's very hard to understand how they make decisions, said a 40-year-old Russian woman, blah, blah, blah. Well, why are they what's going on? Maybe they're just fleeing because Putin... This is chilling, too, is talking about purging people. What's that?
Mm-hmm. Right. And if you're a traitor...
what he considers a traitor.
You really believe in the Ukrainian fight, then you
are
a
traitor. Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what's so scary. And I was reading this earlier. This is from military.com. Putin says Russia must undergo a self-cleansing of society. Fuck these bastards. To purge bastards and traitors. I mean... Bastards, yes. And traitors.
Wow.
I mean, these people, these autocrats have to be stopped. They have to go.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough of humanity being pawns. Just nothing but pawns for these bastards. bastard.
Right.
So we had Tom Hartman on the show the other day, and and we talk about this on the show too. But I was mentioning to him, it's like what happens in this country when you manipulate people and you upset them, you lie to them, and you turn their lives upside down. Like these QAnon assholes, like Trump is doing with the big lie, and the Republicans do, telling people that a caravan is coming to kill them and shit like that. That is nothing less than malpractice, like political malpractice. It's evil. Oh my God, Junior, he keeps biting my hand.
Oh
Jesus, I can't take, because he wants me to pet him. I'm not taking this anymore. I'm not taking this abuse, man. I'm like,
Throw him off.
I am. I put him down, but he's gonna jump up. I love him. Don't get me wrong, and I will one day.
I understand.
But I don't like him.
He's got a thing for you. Ah!
I just don't like him. Like he gets crazy whenever I do the show. It's like all day. He's normal, and then I don't know. Maybe it's confusing to him. I'm standing here talking, and he gets very like. He comes over, and he just gets nuts. He's nuts.
Maybe
but now
so.
I guess I upset him because I'm glad he walked out. Good. Give me a minute, man. I need my space.
Forget him. I'm not getting a cat. Forget
No,
that.
no, he's the best. He really is. He's also toilet trained, so I could teach you how to toilet train your cat. I wish I could. I gotta teach. Yeah, they use the toilet.
Your cat goes to the bathroom in your toilet?
Yes. Like a person. He's a person.
Oh my God.
The only bad thing is sometimes I have to wait for him to be done, to go if I have to go. Like in the morning, sometimes I'll, when you wake up, you have to go to the bathroom, and him too, So he'll wake I'll wake up, he'll wake up, and then he'll run to the bathroom, like to beat me there.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, come on, hurry up. And, they take time. Like, they have to, swipe the air, and they always have to make, I don't know what they do. He does, they have this instinct to bury it, but there's nothing to bury. He just, swipes around, like he swipes the air. But it's like a whole ritual. He's cute. But and Francis Jr. was toilet trained, but I gave him a litter box. Oh, here comes the music. And then Ray, I know I could train Ray because he's smart, but I don't know. Hold on, we'll be right back. And then there are people like, I love Jackson Galaxy, the cat guy, the cat daddy he calls himself. And he's,
I don't know.
Yeah, he's like a cat guru person. And but he's always against toilet training cats. But the way I look at it is like, hey, I do everything else. Just do one effing thing for me,
Right?
You go to the bathroom in the toilet. You're fine. They're fine. It's not abuse or anything. He's like, the cats aren't meant to be in the toilet. Use the toilet. Who cares? They're not meant to live in the friggin' 7th floor in Queens either, right? So who knows?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
That was a smart thing to do. You should give lessons. You could make money like that.
I know,
you could
right?
make money if you could. If you were a cat trainer, you could be making money.
It takes a long time though. It's a commitment.
Oh, it does?
Well, it takes it depends on the cat, It takes, like Tara Jr. was trained before he was 6 months. Yeah, but it takes some time. You got to go at their pace. Yeah, it's how you do it is you get first you have your litter box, and then you raise it up over time so they get used to jumping up, to go to the bathroom. Then I use a medium-sized roasting tray that fits into the toilet. Yeah, so then you're using the toilet is now a litter box, right? And then you cut a hole in that's why you need the pan. So you cut a hole in it, and then you got to get flushable litter, That's a whole other thing if your pipes are
wow.
messy. And then you cut the hole a little bit. You make it wider a little bit over time, just so incrementally but they don't realize it. And then they're getting used to the water and getting used to the whole, how it, the whole experience of using the toilet. And then eventually, boom, you take it away and their toiletry. I mean, it's, I got to do it. I keep saying, because now that I'm home, that I have to do it, like from the pandemic, because I'm here. I can do it.
Yeah.
It is annoying. It's a pain in the ass because if you have to, when you go to the bathroom yourself, you have to take it out, all the time. So it gets whatever. You just have to remember to do that. And don't
take what out?
Take out the little pan. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's that.
I used to like not be able to deal with the kitty litter, and then after a while, I just went in the kitty litter. Forget it.
You just did it yourself. You were like,
yes, I shit in the kitty litter box too.
I shit in the kitty litter box. I don't.
I shit in the kitty
was it
litter
clumpable?
box.
Did you use clumpable litter or?
I don't
know. Non-clumping. Who knows? Oh well. Anyway, what are we gonna do? Are you paying attention to what's going on in the world, or are you somebody who's like, I can't deal with it? I'm just wondering. Or are you in the middle?
I watch it until I get so depressed, then I turn it off, and then I have to take like a day or a day and a half to cleanse my soul, and then I start watching it again.
Right. I think. This is.
It's just it's devastating. It's devastating to see the just the horror of the bombing. They just bombing everything.
I know.
I just can't imagine.
Well, they're horrible. Exactly.
It's just like them bombing any of us. Any of our cities.
That's what I keep thinking.
It's horrendous.
Yeah, what would we do? And that's why you don't want these. You want to get rid of these autocrats. Get rid of them. What business is it?
My question is, can you answer this question? Why do we not have an emergency meeting and bring the Ukraine into NATO? ASAP,
I know.
And
because I know, and the whole thing is
what?
Right. I don't know. I don't know. There's a process that they have to go through. I don't know all the rules, and there is a process. But NATO is just a strategic alliance. That's why, because the thing that's also vile in this country is all of the Republicans who are being used on Russian state television as pawns.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, like Marjorie. Well, no, Madison Cawthorn is the latest. I'm sure Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to join them because she's out there.
No.
Oh, she has. I don't think they've used her yet, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they probably have because she's out there defending Putin, saying, while though we weep. For every whatever, we weep. No, you don't. We have compassion for. No, you don't. You don't have compassion.
What can she possibly have compassion for?
Well, when we see the images of people being, killed, we weep for them. She doesn't weep for anybody. She doesn't weep for the near million Americans that she helped kill with her ignorance for COVID. And she's a moron, on top of a moron, on top of an idiot.
What can the politicians possibly? How can they possibly be defending Putin and what he's doing right now?
I know. They are though. They're doing it because of their master. Yes, the Republicans are. They're doing it because their master Trump is a Putin puppet. That's why. I think that must be it. I don't see any other reason. There are other Republicans that are like, this has to stop. Yeah, but you saw when Zelensky gave the speech to Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and everybody stood up and gave him a standing ovation, applauding. She was freaking looking at her phone. She's a scum. She's scum. And she's dumb, you know? I mean, horrible and dumb. What are you talking about, Marjorie? That you weep? And then she's also she's saying that, oh yes, while we weep for every person who dies, we have to remember this Ukraine is, you know, blah blah, is not a real thing. It's like she's just spreading Putin's talking points, saying that the United States backed a coup that overthrew their government. No, that's not what happened. The people of Ukraine were sick of their Putin puppets in office. They were sick of the corruption. They called it I think it was called the Revolution of Dignity or something like that. Am I wrong? Revolution.
I don't know.
I can't remember now. Somebody on the chat will remind me. Of dignity. And
when
oh yeah, Revolution of Dignity. Yeah, that's it. I got it right. Let me see. It's like I can't remember everything that's in my head all time. Let's see. The Revolution of Dignity took place in Ukraine in February of 2014 at the end of the Euromaidan protests, when deadly clashes between protesters and the security forces in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv culminated in the ousting of elected President Viktor Yanukovych and the overthrow of the Ukrainian government. This was a Putin puppet government, and they were sick of it. Mm-hmm. In November of 2013, a large scale of protests known as Euromaidan erupted in response to Yanukovych's sudden decision not to sign a political association and free trade agreement with the European Union. Now I'm remembering this is coming back to me. Instead choosing ties to Russia, instead of the EU. And the Ukrainians want to be part of the West. They don't want to be part of Russia.
Right.
And that's their choice. Hold on. And these are people clearly that they want democracy. They want to be in NATO. They want to be part of the West. And NATO is, and this is what always drives me insane. You know, filthy, disgusting Trump was always like, "Oh, NATO, pay up. Oh, you're not paying. Oh, you got $20."
Yeah, we would have been out of it.
Right. I mean, isn't he disgusting?
$20.
Right. Hey,
Yes.
hey, Merkel, you got $20? Huh?
Merkel.
Come on, anybody? Give me $1. You got $1?
Somebody. You got $1?
Anybody give me $1? Hey, pay up. Like, he's such a petty little prick. Give me $1. Yeah. You got $20? Pay up. I told them to pay. Pay up. Where's my money? Where's my money? It's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, and we get more than, it's not about money, you scumbag. It's about not going through another bloody century. That's why it exists. So, because the 20th century was the deadliest, bloodiest century in human history. 85 million human beings died in World War II alone. And not too long after World War I. Well, how many people died in World War I? Let's see. I don't know off the top of my head. That's what I'm saying. And that's why and that's why we have a United Nations, and that came out of World War II. So we wouldn't go through another blood-soaked century. And there
why?
Mm-hmm. What?
I mean, why isn't we do have a representative from Russia in the United Nations?
I know.
Why isn't it working?
I hear you. That's a whole other thing. You sound like a Republican there. I don't know. They shouldn't. This is what they say. Oh, the UN is nothing. You know, blah blah. We should just. Well, isn't that what Bolton said? We could blow the whole top off of the UN. It wouldn't matter. And I mean, they're all their violent rhetoric too. We should, you know. Who just said that Trump had the autocrats of the world up against the wall? Oh, that was Janine Pirro. She said that on Fox News.
Really?
The drunken Janine. Get a sponsor, Janine. Call your sponsor. You know. So
call your sponsor.
You fucking. Oh, she's not even a dry drunk. She's a drunk. So, but she, like, had this is their talking point now, that Trump had the world's autocrats up against the wall. He did? If he had them up against the wall, it's because he was giving them a blowjob or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
he wanted them to be comfortable.
Boom,
Boom, boom.
Try the veal.
Yeah.
Good night.
He's like, lean up against this wall so I can give you a nice
Wow.
one. I can give you,
Wow.
right? Because what I mean, he literally has love letters from Kim Jong Un. That's not my words. That's his. They
Really?
fell in love. Did you saw that? You didn't see Trump say
Yeah, I
we
heard it.
wrote each other, and then I wrote him, and then he wrote me in
What?
that sing song.
me?
Yes, he didn't say blow me. He said wrote
my-
me, and he was like
roll me in the
No,
Gangnam
wrote.
Style? They
Wait.
did it Gangnam Style?
No, I don't know what you're saying. No, he's like, then I wrote him, and then first we had some tough words for each other. It was like a real rom-com, and he was really tough with me, and I was tough with him, calling him Rocket Man, and then we fell in love. And then he wrote me, and then I wrote him. And he literally said that. Could you imagine? I can't stand these Republicans. Can you imagine if that were anyone? Obama. Just pretend Obama said he fell in love with Kim Jong-un. And what would the filthy, disgusting Republicans do? That's how you how scummy they are. You know what I mean? But conversely, as much as, we give Democrats a case of red ass when warranted, that would never fly in the Democratic Party. You know that. They would never allow someone to be like, I fell in love with Kim Jong-un. No. If they did, they would not be the standard bearer. That's for sure. They wouldn't have a place in the party. It would be like, get the F out of here.
And didn't he just send out a few more Rocket Man lately?
Oh, he did? Oh, and then we fell in love. I guess it
Yeah.
didn't matter that he was in love with Trump. But I'm sure they'll say, oh, that's because, Trump he's not president. So no one's afraid of Joe Biden. Meanwhile, God help us if Trump was president during this Ukrainian crisis.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Forget it. You want to be in we would be in World War III, but we would be on the wrong side, We would be on Putin's.
We'd be helping them kill them.
Exactly.
Hey, I have another question.
Okay.
Now, and maybe some of your readers might have an insight into this, into the chat room, but when the guy who's kind of in charge, not Blinken, but the other guy who does the podium speeches for the Defense Department, I don't know, he kind of looks like Steve Carell. You know who I mean?
Is he like a skinny guy?
Yeah. He's got dark hair, glasses, looks like Steve Carell.
Is his name John Kirby? I think he's the press secretary or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, yeah,
anyway,
it's him. It's him. His name. He looks like John.
Is it Kirby?
Yeah, because he looks like
he
John
does.
Carell. I'm just looking at his picture
Steve
now.
Carell.
Steve Carell. Yeah.
So he said the other day, okay, we're not gonna send jets over there. We're not gonna get into it. We're not getting boots on the ground. But we are going to Antarctica to have some military maneuvers and exercises. I'm like, what? What was that about?
What do you mean?
And
What's
then
that
I'm
about?
Yeah, because that to me is like code for we're gonna go take their shit now up in Antarctica.
Yeah, it's like
because there's a lot of stuff going down up there because there's a lot of oil fields up there.
Yeah,
and in a way it was like, are they just gonna be like, hey Putin, you're gonna lose out on all this crap up here if you continue to do that stuff down there.
Right. Well, I'm not sure exactly what if they're doing maneuvers up in Antarctica. It's because they're flexing their muscles. And they're saying, okay, they're putting troops in position for what may come. That's all. That's what that's about. I'm sure. Not that I'm some
think?
military strategist.
It's so far away. Oh, it's not that far away, though, right?
No,
I
don't
right
know.
on their
It's a
back
small
door,
world.
basically.
Yeah,
Russia,
yeah.
The Siberian tundra.
Right, and Sarah Palin can see it from her house, apparently. So, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right, and what did Trump say yesterday? He said that Putin wanting to expand his country is an act of love. That's what he said. And this is like Hitler. These fuckers, they cannot help being fascist. That's who they are in every right wing. In every conservative chest beats the heart of fascism. That's it. And they can't help it. And I know, Republicans, they don't realize it because they don't know history. They don't know about the rise and fall of the Third Reich. They know, the Gestapo police. That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. The Gestapo. The Gestapo police is gonna, come and get us because they're morons. They learn things by osmosis. They learn things by reading a meme. That's it. And they think that they are. Yes, that's how it is. Like they'll get a meme with a quote on it, and it will be and sometimes because I know this because I will get these memes from these people. They'll send it to me like as if that's boom, drop the mic. They'll send me a meme and it has a quote on it, and I'm like, that doesn't look real. And I'm like, give me 2 seconds on Google, and you find that it's fake. Like they'll send there's a few memes or quotes that they'll use Thomas Jefferson quotes, such like if we don't have guns, we are something. We'll never be free or some bullshit. It's a fake ass quote, and all you gotta do is go, tap 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 tap. Go right on to Monticello.org, the Thomas Jefferson Foundation website, in their list of spurious quotes, and there it is. And I'm like, it takes 2 seconds just to do the due diligence. And this is what I do. Right. If I make a friggin' meme, and there's a quote, I like that quote or whatever, I make a meme out of it. You can look it up, make sure it's real, but they don't care. They will just send it, and then they'll be like, well, Thomas Jefferson said that, you need a gun. And and then, you're like, you're dumb. And the other thing is, as far as quotes are concerned, of course, everything, it helps with a little context anyway, but they don't want to know the whole story. They just, like, for example, this is a good example. Wait, hold on. Here comes the music, goddammit. We'll be right back with Poppy Champlin, the best comedian on earth. And me. So there's a quote from Thomas Jefferson. Where is it? It was, I think it's on the Jefferson Memorial. Let me see. Thomas Jefferson Memorial quote. I think it's, I have sworn eternal something, right? Against the tyranny. Yes, I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. And they love that quote, right-wingers. But there is, the context of the quote is actually, they'll use it as proof that the founders were all about God. They want God in religion and in our government. But this quote is actually, and if you read what comes before and what comes after it, he's talking about the religious institutions, and he's calling them tyranny over the mind of men. You know what I mean? He's not saying, "Oh, it's actually, he's not saying like that he's like sworn to God, whatever. But it really is an it's an what do they call it? Irreligious quote. and even though he's talking about God, he's using it as, I don't know, because the founders they were deists.
Right. They founded it for freedom of religion.
Right.
Believe whatever the hell you want.
Right. And it wasn't about, they, many of at the time, because they were students of the liberal age of enlightenment, and of course they were products of their time, and most people believed in God, but the founders kind of like left it on the shelf. Many of them, they were like, okay, there's like a great clockmaker in the sky. Like, he just made the little clock and he set it on the counter and set it and forget it, and that's how many of them looked at it. But I think in a lot of ways they were more, it's like, you don't believe it. You know that throughout history people are like, yeah, this is bullshit. And they used it because they knew, the founders knew that because they weren't idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene, they understood that how religion was used in tyranny, and that's
right.
really what Thomas Jefferson is talking about. I've sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. And he's talking about religion in that quote, So I find it really ironic and, just telling that these religious monsters use it, because they don't know. They don't put it in context. They don't want to know. They just want their own ignorance validated, so that's why they'll get a quote.
That they can like just take the things and then
right.
make it into a different shape, and
right?
then just put it in the mirror and be like, see what you're saying, we're saying, we're saying what you're saying, you're saying the same thing.
Yes,
it's magic. It's magic,
right? And the whole thing is really tyranny. That's actually, when you think about the Republicans, like what they do. Is tyranny over the mind of people. Oh, and they twist people, and it's vile. They don't have our best right. To just go out there with the big lie, to lie to people about their system of government, and it's frightening. Because that's why it's gonna. This will not last.
But in a way, what do we know? What do we know? We don't know diddly dick. Mm-hmm. What if there are biochemical weapons that the United States has creating shit over there?
Oh,
what if there
God.
Really are? We don't know if there are or aren't. Really,
but true. But I don't think. See, we have more checks and balances here. The thing is that Republicans, the right-wingers, they don't have any trust in institutions because they've been conditioned to distrust institutions. But institutions are just people, and the part of the bureaucracy, what the Republicans call the deep state. That's why they're against deep state. We got to purge the deep state. But the thing is, they've seen it. If Trump won that election, it wasn't. I don't think it was fair. I think the Russians did tip the scale. Right.
And so they've seen it. Trump has seen it.
Yeah.
They've seen it. So now they know that the like you said, the fix is in. And it's like, who knows when the fix is in on anything nowadays?
Well, the thing is, yes, as far as the Trump election, the whole thing was a shit show. We know that.
And Gore?
Well, that's a different story. That's that's the corruption.
Was stolen too.
Yes, I know, by the Supreme Court. This country would be so much better and different if we had a functioning democracy that worked. That wasn't corrupted by right. It's all right wingers. As always, it's always conservatives.
I think we have oligarchs too.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know who the fuck they are.
Well, I hear you. We do. We know who they are.
We know who the Russian oligarchs are.
No, but we
don't know who our fucking oligarchs are.
Yes, we know. We have the Koch brothers, the Mercer family, all of these rich fuckers. The friggin' Zuckerberg. what's his name? Jeff Bezos. These are oligarchs. Of course they are. Oh, that's why Jeff Bezos bought a big giant mansion in Washington, D.C. You know, what are you buying a mansion there for? One of his mansions, because he wanted to host and court his little pawns. I'll come over and have a giant party in my wine cellar and shit, and we'll plot the destruction of the American middle class. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but does Buzz Biden take a meeting with Bezos and
I'm sure.
have Bezos
I don't know.
have a vote about what he wants?
I don't know if they have a vote, but when you have a government with legal bribes built right into the system, there's going to be corruption. That's part of the problem. People, and that's why when I was talking to Tom Hartman the other day, I was asking him next time he talks to some of these, he knows he has like big wig Democrats on his show. We have to start framing these things like the taxing the rich is not just nice and fair, although it is. It's a patriotic imperative because we can have concentrated wealth and democracy at the same time. That's all. You got to explain it. This is about saving democracy, and it's gone off the rails now. And of course, the Democrats, the Republicans are wholly owned subsidiary of the big moneyed interests. They always have been. The conservatives, and we have them in the Democratic Party too. Because conservatism is a fundamentally anti-democratic ideology. It's always been about who can rule, who has the ability to rule. And throughout history, democracy was a dirty word. It wasn't. We had the early democracy in Greece, and then the Roman Republic and other republics around the world throughout the next 2,000 years, but primarily in Western civilization there were intergenerational aristocracies and monarchies entrenched with the religious authorities. The merging of church and state to keep people in line. So the church was a ruling body that that mutually beneficial ruling body that they protected each other. The institutions protected each other to keep people from overthrowing a system that was fundamentally unfair to them and didn't work for them. That's why they sold them the whole, your mansion in heaven. And what a scam. And if you don't, and that overthrowing the king or not being loyal to the king wasn't just, treason. It was against God because God had put them in charge. It was a scam, the whole thing.
What Putin is playing
now, right? But
Putin, play that
exactly. And wait, hold on a second. Oh my God. This is the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. But we have more show at youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. And then, of course, for patrons at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Become a patron. Keep the real liberal media going and growing so we can win. And we will win because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. Thank you, Poppy Champlin, for hanging out. Thank you. We stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. I will see you soon. Liberal media going and growing. Hey, what happened there? I hear myself. We're on the right side of history. Lower that.
No, I have my computer in the background.
I heard myself there. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah. So our democracy, this thing that we're trying to do here, that was supposed to be the antidote to all of that bullshit. The intergenerational aristocracy. That's why I always say too, that this is a progressive experiment. There's nothing more progressive than overthrowing a king or a ruling body that's been in power for 2,000 years. You know what I mean? That there's nothing conservative about that. So, yeah.
No.
Anyway.
So the Ukraine has only been a democracy for like a year or something?
No,
really
it's been
not a long time?
Not a long time. I mean, I'm not sure if Zelensky, I don't know the whole history, but it's only been really trying, because as far as I know about it, that Ukraine was...
he's basically the first one, Zelensky?
No, I think he might have been, let me see, the 6th or 7th democratically elected leader. Let me see. How many?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think off the top of my head, many Democratically.
I love it that he was a comedian.
Yes.
I love that.
Did you? I've seen a lot of his stuff. He's actually
he was more like in a duet, right?
Well, he was like a Tom Hanks in Ukraine, like a romantic comedy,
Really?
an actor, very big movies he was in there, and he was also on their version of Dancing with the Stars. And if you see it,
I saw that.
But he danced. Compare him to Tucker Carlson. You know, Tucker Carlson was on Dancing with the Stars. He looked like a lump of lard sliding across the floor.
I cannot look at Tucker Carlson.
Oh, isn't he gross? He's monstrous.
I can't look at him. I cannot look at him.
I know. Well, good. I mean, I can't look at his stupid face. He always got that stupid, quizzical look on his face.
Ugh.
Like he's always asking a question. No, he's not asserting. He's just asking. You know, why should we care about Ukraine? Why do we care? What do we do? What is this? What are they doing? Why do they want to? Like they. Who the fuck are they? You know, you scum. That's why I hate Republicans. And like Kyle Rittenhouse, you know, first of all, he's a murderer, right? And I hope he sues me because it would be good for the show. But then, because he's apparently suing people who are calling him murderer. And he's a murderer. I mean, hello, you killed people. You're a murderer, okay? I'm sorry you don't like that. But I really hate that kid. And, what was the point of that? Besides just hating him.
I don't know. You brought him in.
Yeah, there was a reason, though. There was a reason.
You probably haven't finished your tirade against
I don't know. Yeah. No, there was a reason. Oh, well, whatever. How many democratically elected? That's why I need a producer, a real producer, not a cat, who comes in and can do these searches.
Not a cat.
Leaders. Let's see. Ukraine. Oh, and yeah. Well, here we go. Well, then you had some Putin puppets, comprehensive chronological, I can't talk, list of national leaders, but I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I'll have to do more research on that to find out.
I know what I was going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it and who was it? Remember, it was like maybe 10 or 15 years ago, and this country went after their ruler and like hung him out in the town square, like his husband and wife kind of team. Remember that?
No. Is this in Africa?
No, it was in Europe somewhere.
Not Mussolini. I mean,
Mussolini's not in our time, is he?
Mussolini was in, World War II. What do you mean? But this was recently?
Yeah, World War II, but yeah, like I'm thinking like 12 years ago, 20
Anybody on the chat know? Anybody on the chat?
Like, who the hell? And I was like, wow, they just took him out and like hung them both in the square. And I'm like, maybe they'll do that to Putin.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Finally they have to rise up. The Russians are going to rise up. Tracy Chapman's going to sing the song. Someday they're going to rise up.
Right?
The Russians are going to rise. Yes, the Russians are going to rise up and they're going to drag his ass out.
They need to.
And they're going to hang him.
I know.
Yeah.
They need to. He needs to do his best Mussolini I don't know, imitation in the town square. That's for sure. Yeah.
He needs to dangle.
That's what has to happen. I know. He really does.
I got to get going.
Oh, all right.
Because I got to go write my rest of my show.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, I got to put the bullets down, and then I was trying to do that dog stuff with you, but you didn't go for it at all. I'm like, oh.
Well,
shit.
I don't know.
So,
I didn't know you were. We could work it out. I don't know. You want to try it again?
I was trying it out on you, and you were not.
I wasn't helping.
Funny.
Oh.
Well, you didn't think it was funny.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, because I went there and I saw something like that. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But people getting dogs. I mean, there's something there. Yeah, definitely. With somebody who's like.
I wanted to get. Yeah, I wanted to get the dog because I'm lonely, depressed, and fat. But so. And they're telling me that I have to let the dog adjust to my house, and I'm like, but how long do I have to wait?
Right.
I mean, I got to adjust to the dog.
Right.
It's like I don't want a dog that's going to be cowering in the corner and wetting the floor.
I've been doing that for 2 years. Yeah, exactly. Well, it reminds me of there was a thing on The Simpsons. I don't know if you one of the episodes of the millions episodes of The Simpsons where Homer got a helper monkey. You heard about like people getting helper animals, and he got a helper monkey, and he had to get it from like an organization got him a helper monkey because he wasn't he was supposed to be disabled, and it was a big scam. But he but then they came back to check on the monkey, and him and the monkey were like sitting in front of the TV watching TV with like big beer bellies, drinking beer. The two of them like just sitting there like they both had big bellies and drinking beer watching TV. Like the helper monkey.
The poor monkey.
Yeah, it was cute and funny. It's a cartoon though, so I thought it was funny. I love The Simpsons. I haven't watched it in years, but it was great.
They're very
It's always great. I mean, it was so funny. So much. I loved when like when they went on, they had somebody in town, like they had to go have a protest. They were going to take over, like something was happening and they had a protest and they're like, we're not going to take this anymore. Let's go. Let's have a march. And then they all like lined up and they were like, we're here. We're queer. Oh yeah, there was like bears. Bears were attacking the town. Bears were right. So they were like, let's go. We're not going to take this anymore with these bears. And they're like, we're here. We're queer. We don't want any bears.
Oh my God.
Like we're here. We're queer is just a march.
It's the only march.
Yeah.
Right. It's the only one that rhymes really well.
Right. We're here. We're queer. We don't want any bears.
We don't want any bears.
Anyway, that's funny.
Well, you take care of yourself.
All right, kid.
And hang in there and keep the fight alive.
Yes, we will. We will win. Thank you, Poppy, for hanging out and making it a good, funny show instead of me just screaming for a change. I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay.
Bye-bye. Poppy Champlin, the greatest comedian on earth. All right, guys. That was fun. What do you think? I'm laughing about The Simpsons. We're here. All right. Now I have to focus because we got more show. Because remember, we started the show late today, so we're going until we got another half hour, if you can believe it. So if you're on any other platform, excuse me, come on over to youtube.com/C for channel /Tarabuster to hang out with the cool kids. And thank you. Let's see. Thank you, Richard W., for your super chat. Another great show, Tara. I really appreciate that. I need your support. All right. So what were the other things we were going to talk about? I had a list. And where's my list? We got the Kyle Rittenhouse. Oh, let's talk about this. A couple of things. Well, I was thinking of talking about the lieutenant governor who defended speaking to Nazis. She spoke to a bunch of so-called, well, they're called white supremacists, Nazis. That's what they are. And she defended it, saying that she'll speak to anybody, any young conservatives. It reminded me of course, Hitler and speaking to the Hitler Youth, but I guess that's what it means to be a young conservative now, is code word for Nazi. The hood's off, the freak flag is flying, the cat's out of the bag, whatever. The goose is goose stepping, and they are really fully embracing their inner fascist, which is not inner anymore, it's outer. So, well, we don't have to go that far into that, but you get it. And the other, let's talk about the, this is what I found. This is some good news, okay? Anonymous, who I appreciate, I have to say. Anonymous, thank you for your service. They're attacking Russian state television. They're hacking into the Russian state TV and playing the video of what's actually going on in Ukraine, things like that. But now they're attacking the Russian bots and the Russian agents that we have here in the United States of serfs and lords. So here's from Newsweek, and it's all over. So there's many other articles. Anonymous threatens to not be kind to, quote unquote, Russian asset Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yay! Yay! I didn't have my applause ready, but I would usually play an applause line there. International hacker group Anonymous has leveled a threat against Congresswoman Marjorie Marjorie Taylor Greene. History will not be kind to you, nor will we. I'm so glad they said that. We say that all the time because it's true. History, I'm telling you guys, you know this. When historians look back in 100 years, when we're all long gone, but we'll still have the record of our resistance right here. They will watch these videos. You'd better believe it. I know I will. If I were, because I think about, imagine if the Romans had Twitter or YouTube, wouldn't you sit there as a historian and you would pore over everything you can get to understand the world that they lived in, what people were actually saying about the events that they were living through. So you know that history is not going to be kind to Putin. I don't give a shit if he has a rally and he's convinced a lot of his dupes, many millions of them, just like we have here, that he's doing some humanitarian mission to eradicate Nazism in Ukraine when he's a friggin' Nazi himself. And Trump, the whole Trump, the traitors, the Republicon traitors are not going to look well in history's light. The ones who acquiesced to all of his treasons, the plethora. Is it plethora or plethora? Or plethora. It's like clitora or clitoris. I don't know. But you know what I mean. They're not going to look good. All of the traitors who voted to let him slide on his first impeachment. And then the second impeachment. There was nothing political about it. Yeah, the only political, we were playing politics, trying to save democracy from this goddamn con man who had no business being anywhere near the halls of power, and he knew it. Vile. And one of the things, if you saw, as we were talking about Zelensky, his speech, the first speech he gave when he was the president, he said don't put pictures of me. I don't want any pictures of me hanging in your hall. I want you to put pictures of your children, pictures of your loved ones on the wall. And we will think about them whenever we make our decisions. And it was beautiful to hear. But you see the contrast of someone like that, a person leading a country trying to get out of authoritarianism, showing how precious freedom actually is. And that's freedom. It's the freedom. It's not about you're on your own, booby. F you. I don't care if there's a pandemic. I'm going to scream in your face without a mask. That's not freedom. That's fascism. That's, I don't give a shit. That's not democracy, because democracy is e pluribus unum. That's another thing I wish I had said to Tom. Maybe next time, because another thing the Democrats need to hold on to is not just we don't leave anybody behind, but we put e pluribus unum into action. That's our action plan. We don't leave anybody behind, because that's that's what being free is. You're not on your own. You're not. If you fall down, we will catch you. Just like if I fall down. Right? That's what it means to be free. So then you have the freedom to take risks and to dare to go after your dreams. That's because we have set the groundwork, the infrastructure of freedom and democracy. That's what it means. That's why you pay taxes. I don't need to. I could sit home and we could do, a show, or, hopefully if we weren't fighting fascism, we'd be talking about cats or something. But, I don't have to go out there paving a road or digging a well or, whatever the struggles of life are. I don't need to do that, because the infrastructure is here. It was there when I was born, and it will be there when I'm gone. That's civilization. We don't have to be threatened by autocrats telling us what to believe, what to think, what gender, pronouns to use. Ridiculous. That's freedom. I told you about this is what these Republicans. They try to co-opt the Ukrainian spirit of 1776 as if it's their own, saying, oh, they're not out there telling each other, calling each other racists, or getting mad about using different pronouns. They're fighting for freedom. Yeah, the freedom to call themselves whatever effing pronouns they want. I hate these people because they've so twisted what the promises are. What is we have a goddamn motto, e pluribus unum, but they've turned it into F you, I got mine, Jack. And it's not even the thing is they're dupes, they're pawns of the autocrats, the ones laughing their asses off. Okay, anyway, the threat from Anonymous comes a day after Greene released a nearly 10-minute video in which she stated that Ukrainians are fighting a war against Russia they cannot win. How dare you, two toes? That is wrong. The Ukrainians will win. They will win. And they will pay for their democracy. Some of them will give the last full measure of devotion to it. And Marjorie Taylor knows nothing about what it means to be a patriot, what it means to fight for freedom. She's fighting for fascism. She is so ignorant. She doesn't even know how ignorant she is. The other thing is, she doesn't have the decency to learn. You know what I mean? To shut your filthy, two-toed mouth until you know what you're effing talking about. She saw a meme once, so that's what she thinks. Oh, I'm sure maybe you saw the video of her talking about, how vaccines are tyranny and why do we have to take numerous boosters? Because I remember, do I even have it? Her voice is like a rake on a chalkboard, but I remember. Oh yeah, I do have it. Can I play it though? Is the other story. Come on, Ecamm. Why do you do this to me? I thought you loved me.
And he's also recommending a 4th COVID vaccine shot. Now, I don't know about you guys, but many of us were vaccinated as kids against polio. We had our MMR. And I have never seen
mandates.
The CDC coming out saying, oh, you've got to get your 2nd polio shot. You got to get your 3rd. You got to get your 4th.
You moron.
And this may continue to keep going. I think the question we all should ask is, when does it stop? And when are
when do you
enough
stop?
vaccines enough? But we don't have that question.
Because you're a dumbass, bitch. Who writes her speeches? The fact is, we have numerous. We have to get the polio vaccine numerous times over our life. And, it's just the unearned arrogance of these filthy Republicans. The fact is, 2 months old, you get your first polio shot. Then 4 months old, you get a booster. Then 6 months to 18 months, you get a second booster. And then you get your 4th polio vaccine booster from between age 4 to 6 years old. So that doesn't, being completely wrong never seems to stop them. And they say it with such authority. So, okay, but she's talking about, again, in this particular situation, this Marjorie Trader Greene is talking about Ukraine spreading lies, spreading Putin propaganda. That Ukrainians were, it's not a real country. Oh, I love this. They also, one of the other things that the Republicans are saying is that there are many Russian speakers in Ukraine. Well, there are a lot of French speakers in Montreal. So you think, maybe Canada has no claim to that province? It's ridiculous. There are a lot of speakers. Russian speakers. Well, what are these people? People want to be free. They want to be a democracy. It's not the business of Russia. And what if you don't have any ill will towards your neighbors? What do you care if they're in a defense alliance? Right? But Putin hates democracy. That's one thing I got to say. As opposed to the Republicans, at least Putin has the whatever to outright say that democracy is not good. Not good. I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I don't know how I'm saying it, but I'm saying it. I'm saying it anyway. Like my drill sergeant said, I don't speak good English, but I'm speaking it real good now. That's what he used to say. I always think of that. And another time, when I was in basic training, I remember they were like, in 20 minutes, a bus is going to come up. And he was, they were giving us the instruction. A bus is going to pull up here. God, I wish that bus would run you over. That's what he said. And I was just like, laughing because it was funny. And I'm like, why does he want to run us over? They're just teasing. They're just teasing us. I wish that bus would come and run you over. All right. And I was like, I thought that was funny. Okay, her video posted on Facebook Live hours after Ukrainian President Zelensky spoke to the Congress also criticized Joe Biden for saber rattling and dragging America into World War III. Well, there you go, Margie, on the wrong side of history. The fact is, and then she's comparing it to Iraq and the Iraq invasion, which is there's no comparison. Because that was an illegal war based on lies, and this is the battle for democracy. That's why the American people, the majority, on both sides, are support the Ukrainian fight for freedom. They recognize the truth here. Putin is a madman. He's a war criminal. He is our Hitler. And this is his Sudetenland. You try to give him, you're going to chip off a piece for Hitler? I mean, for Putin? He won't stop. There are Russian speakers where? Where else are Russian speakers? They're in Poland. I mean, there's plenty of land. That's the other thing. Republicans, well, Trump said that Putin trying to expand his country is an act of love. He's just love. So much love. Don't you hate when these sociopaths use terms reserved for human beings? Love? What do you know about love, Trump? Knows nothing. They know nothing about love. That is a scumbag who has never loved anything in his life but himself. That's why he needs money and validation and everything on the outside. Because he knows what a hollow, empty husk he is. He knows how unfit he is. That's the truth. That's why he has to upgrade his trophy wives. You can't be human and be his partner. You gotta be a trophy wife. You gotta be, I don't really care, do you? You gotta be a nude model, escort. Or a high-class hooker with a heart of gold. He could never be his first wife's husband, right? She's old now. He's his age. But everything is about him. That's a sociopath. It doesn't matter who you are as a human being. There's no connection there. It's what you make him look like. That's why he hates his children. And sorry, Don Jr., you will never be loved by somebody who doesn't have the capacity to love. That's why you're an untreated addict. And I don't give a shit. Suffer. Maybe you'll learn something, but I doubt it. I'm sure you have other plans there, too. So, Anonymous said Russian asset Marjorie Taylor Greene will go down in history as one of the dumbest politicians ever. History will not be kind to you, nor will we. The Twitter account that is at Your Anon News wrote on Wednesday afternoon. The account is one of several decentralized Twitter accounts associated with the anonymous group. In Greene's video, she called Vladimir Putin's actions in Ukraine despicable and evil. We weep when we see images of men, women, and children wounded and or killed. No, you don't. You never weep. You liar. You don't weep. You just give me Kyle Rittenhouse's Academy Award. And in fact, he wouldn't win one because he sucks. He's transparent. We saw the sham. That's why it looks stupid and funny. Because you get that funny feeling. This isn't right. Because human beings, recognize it. You go with your gut there. This kid is effed up. So is Marjorie Taylor Greene. We cannot and we must not allow our compassion to blind us to reason and common sense. And then she goes on. She referred to Ukraine as a country that Biden and Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Utah Senator Mitt Romney have business interests in. Yeah, it's some other bullshit. Bullshit. That's why the Ukrainian people aren't giving up. You see, their arguments are transparently ridiculous. If this is the case, why would people be putting their lives on the line? Why would they be pledging their lives, fortunes, and sacred honor to each other and standing shoulder to shoulder, fighting the invader, the fascist hero that Republicans love? Never in my life. I know that the Republicans are vile, fascist traitors, but I never thought I'd see them being, maybe it was a failure of an imagination there, but to see them be used as Russian propaganda and continue to do it. If you do it once and then Putin plays your bit to convince his people or the people he pretends to represent, to convince them of his scam, and he's using you, and you keep doing it, and you keep making star appearances, and then they bring in the supporting cast, Tucker Carlson, of course, and Madison Cawthorn. Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be next. Guarantee it. Listen to this shit. Greene referred to Biden as weak, dementia-ridden fossil in the White House. How dare you? But Trump, right? Trump's not a fossil, a dementia-ridden fossil. You vile scum. Vile scum bitch. Biden's sanctions wouldn't work against Russia because they don't work in Cuba and North Korea or Iran. This is an ignorant moron who also, when she's spewing out her lies, she can't even, what does she say? Commander and chief? And chief. And in the same tweet, which didn't get as much attention when she said commander and chief, she also misspelled Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. It was supposed to be Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, and she used, of course, Y-O-U-R. Why would you do that? Because you're a moron, Marjorie. An illiterate moron. You don't read. You don't have any knowledge of history, much less reality. You're a horrible excuse for a human, a waste of human DNA, a scumbag, a stain on the people you pretend to represent, and an embarrassment at here and all around the world. You are a joke who's so diminished this country. To call Joe Biden a weak, dementia-ridden fossil, and everything that's been going on when Biden is rallying NATO, and he is, I'm not, whatever. I'm a Bernie-crat. We know that. But if there's one thing he's not doing is embarrassing us internationally. And I think I'm not alone in breathing a sigh of relief that he's in office and not one of these scum, prick, sucking, Putin puppet Republicans. Jesus Christ. I saw, I'm just looking at the time. We only have a couple more minutes. But Adam Kinzinger was saying that he tweeted about Republicans, how good, decent Republicans have to fight. They will fight tooth and nail. They'll fight. I can't remember exactly how he put it. I'm paraphrasing it, to ensure that Trump is not reelected if he's the nominee. Well, you know what? You wouldn't have to do that. I think he said move heaven and earth. You wouldn't. All you had to do was vote to restore the Voting Rights Act, but you didn't. Anyway, it's crazy. these Republicans. We have to keep them. We cannot let them rewrite history. All right, my friends. Thank you for hanging out. This is Tara Devlin, and thank you, Poppy, for hanging out and making me laugh. I needed that. We will win. That's true. Because we are on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. And we don't have to apologize for being right. United States is a progressive initiative. We're the patriots. Patriotism isn't just wearing the star on your shirt. It's leaving no one behind. Giving a crap about your fellow American. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. Boom. All right, let me see. What's going on in the chat? Right, but Mark C on the chat, but she raises big money for the GQP, which makes her the de facto leader, not the sniveling Kevin McCarthy. I mean, isn't Kevin McCarthy, isn't he, do these people, all right, I'm trying, what's the word? Aren't they embarrassed for themselves? It's crazy. They're not embarrassed. He's not embarrassed for himself. Is greed that worth it? I don't understand. Let me see. Irene says, thank you, Tara. And that's why I don't talk so bad about Biden. He's not grump. And he has active Dems working against him. Not fair. Exactly. It's true. Like that filthy cinema bitch. I hate her. And she's another one who will not look good in history's light. Trust me. The fact that she's even going down in history makes me sick. This unworthy, self-serving chameleon with the pink hair. Look at me. That's always a sign, you know what I mean? Some people like to dress different or whatever it might be, and you know that they're not posers. That's just them. This person, Cinema, is she puts on her little costume to get attention because she's like Trump in a way. She knows she's got nothing. She's vapid. She's not interesting. She wants attention, and that's it. I see Poppy in the chat room. Look at my hair. What the hell? What? Look at my hair. It's time to dye my hair, my roots. Yeah, I don't know. Is money that worth it to be so spineless? And aren't you embarrassed? Whenever I see Kevin McCarthy, it's embarrassing. I get embarrassed for him. I know he doesn't have the ability to feel shame because he's a fascist, but I think, doesn't he feel, I feel it for him. Well, let me see. This just came out. Adam Kinzinger hits back at Newsmax host Eric Boyle, I can't say that word, Bowling, telling him to switch parties. How is that cult going? Oh, let's see. That might be good. Let me see. Let's play that together. And then we'll split. That's Twitter. Wait. Let me see. Kinzinger, Donald Trump. Let's see. Let's let him. Come on. It's a little low. And then I guess the story is, I know it was a little low, that Eric Bowling says, "Switch parties, you traitor." Switch parties, you traitor? Because you don't like Trump. You don't want the Putin puppet, tax cheating, draft dodging, dictator envying, twice impeached con man with a serial bankruptcies and the history of sexual assault as your standard bearer. The con man with the grifter family. And the other story I wanted to do, maybe we'll see. I mean, everything. There's so much, and plus we had Poppy on the show, and so. But I wanted the one of the faux rages that happened today was the Republicans were saying, it came out in the New York Post, the Hunter Biden's laptop is real. Who said it wasn't real? That was never a thing. But these people are, they constantly attack Hunter Biden, and in the vile New York Post article had all pictures of Hunter Biden in the grips of his active addiction. And that's somebody who's clean now. So you're taking someone who had the courage not only to get clean, but the courage to be honest about it. You know, in a country where there are death by despair going through the roof, and we're in the grips of an opioid epidemic where people are ODing at epidemic proportions, unheard of in this country before. And that's your compassionate conservatism on display. It's all about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is not in the White House and never was. He didn't have a position. Oh, he got a cushy job. But yeah, okay. The son of a powerful politician gets a cushy job. To me, I don't think that's great. So that's the problem. He's not alone. Look at the rest of them. Ivanka, she got 34 fast-tracked patents in communist China. They put, and we could go on and on. The Kushners selling visas to the highest bidder in China, promising visas to business people who gave them money. That's not corruption? You ask me, give me a break. If Malia, Sasha and Malia, let's say they went around with their foundation, they made a foundation, let's say, and then went to China and were caught on tape telling the Chinese business people, if you give us money, we'll fast track your visas. And you think there'll be a lot of red tape with those visas? So Eric Bowling, the fascist sycophant, says, "Switch parties, you traitor?" Honey, being a traitor, you're a traitor. When you stand up to a big lie spreading, dictator envying, dictator wannabe con man who hates this country, who hates the democracy that so many are dead now, because so many young people in their graves who gave their last full measure of devotion, not like you, not like these fuckers who wouldn't serve, they wouldn't skip lunch, much less pull a hair for the American people. So Kinzinger, who has been prolific and feuding with his opponents on Twitter in recent months, quickly responded, "Good morning, Eric. How's that cult going? The whole Russia thing was a bad bet for your leader," Kinzinger wrote, referencing Trump's recent controversial comments, calling Putin savvy and a genius. in regard to his brutal invasion of Ukraine. Boiling hit back. Morning, Adam. No cult worship here. Really? I love that. When they lack, of course, it takes maturity to look at yourself, so no cult worship here. My leader is in heaven? Oh, you're such a Christian. I know. We can tell. I could tell by your gay bashing and your hatred of the stranger, right? You know, when I was a stranger, you kicked me, you shot me with tear gas and built a wall, right? Right, Eric? You fake ass. I hate these fake Christian bastards. I wish you well on your path to less leftist propaganda punditry. Yeah, real leftist. I welcome you on my show for fierce yet respectful debate. You got game? Oh, I love these Republicans. That's what they do. They're like debate bros. Debate me, bro. Debate me. The other thing, maybe I'll play this before we go. Kinzinger was also recently invited to join Tucker Carlson. Oh, my God. Kinzinger refused Carlson's invitation, saying, we know the interview would be promoted to get more viewers, to make money, to further empower his garbage. Absolutely. Leftist propaganda. Yeah, the leftist propaganda known as American patriotism, known as democracy, e pluribus unum. It's all leftist propaganda. And I know I'm a little all over the place, but this is like the after show. Because I'm going to bed soon. I'm getting unconscious. And that's the way it's going to be. But I saw this? Oh, here. You know, this is kind of a long interview, and it's a few years old. And it has nothing to do with anything we were discussing tonight. But I feel like maybe we can play it. Yeah, and, you know, if you want to listen, hang out. But if you don't, I understand. But this is an interview. I never saw it when it happened. It was from 2019 on the BBC. Ben Shapiro, who I hate with the heat of 1,000 burning suns, was on a show with, who is this guy? Andrew Neil. Anybody on the chat know this person, or have any of you guys seen this interview? And I suppose at the time it got a little attention because it is an illustration of every Republican fascist tactic when they're interviewed, you know, when they are up against the wall and their bullshit is exposed. And this guy made mincemeat out of this little tiny prick. And he was, I guess I'll play it, so as I'm talking about it. And he really modeled how great, how you take these assholes down. Don't give them any, pleasure by going back at them. Just hit them with the truth. Let's play it. And it really speaks for itself. Wait, let me move myself. Sorry. What? Hold on. Where did it go? Hold on. Where the hell did it go? I lost it. I'll start it over. I lost it in it. Radical leftist. Ugh. What a voice. What's this wolfy looking face they all have?
You work for the right-wing Breitbart website, but you left over its support for Donald Trump. I think you said you'd never vote for Mr. Trump. Why is that?
Well, in 2015, 2016, Breitbart made a hard turn in favor of one particular candidate, and that's their prerogative. Lots of publications have an editorial point of view. Breitbart was one of those. The reason that I left Breitbart specifically was because of an incident in which a Breitbart reporter, a female reporter, was grabbed on the arm by Corey Lewandowski, then the campaign manager for President Trump, and was bruised on the arm, and then Corey Lewandowski proceeded to lie about it, and Breitbart...
Wait, hold on. I'm afraid that if the BBC might shut the channel down. I'm just thinking about this now. You know what I mean? If I play too much of it. Let's just play the back part of it. I'll put the link in the description so you can watch it. But now that I'm playing it, I'm like, oh yeah. Remember when this has happened before. The sound is really low, Irene is saying. Oh man. Son of a son. Why? Yeah, it's maybe not a good idea then. If the sound is really low. I don't know why. Let me see. Where's my audio? I don't have any controls. Where is the audio control? I don't know. It must have been an update. Fuck this. All right. I'm very sorry, guys. I'll have to. Maybe, you know what I'll do? I'll grab it as a video. And then we'll have more control over it than just playing it on YouTube. And we'll play it another day. I apologize for the tease. But at the end, he walks off the set because he can't handle it, and it's awesome. So, and then he gets embarrassed later on and says, oh, I didn't do my research. Like that would have helped you. I didn't know. He starts personally attacking the man, and he's just like, yeah. If you ever watched the show, you would know how ridiculous you sound. I don't know why you couldn't hear that. That's weird. Oh, well. Probably because Ecamm, has issues. It really does. It's really annoying. Let me see. Where's my audio? I don't even have any. There's usually all buttons on the side of the Ecamm program. I could see myself. And there's all buttons, like the audio button, the text button, and there's no buttons. So they must have changed something. And I can, from there, lower and raise the volume on stuff. But I don't have any fucking buttons, so. Guys, thank you for being so understanding. The show is what it is. And I'm sorry, guys. We'll get together again soon to hang out. And I'm sorry. I'm glad I saw your chat there. Now, I can't hear this prick. Yeah, and people are like, I can't hear it. Yes, Mark says, that's okay. We were spared. It's true. But it's fun to watch him get owned and walk off in a huff like a little baby with a full diaper. I'll have to figure out what the hell is going on with this Ecamm again. It's so annoying. What the hell? Where's my controls? Fuckity fuck. All right, friends, listen up. It's time for me to get unconscious and dream that there are no Republicans. No, I know. I got dreams, too. I got dreams. Not just the ones where I'm naked and I'm falling and my teeth are flying out of my skull. Real dreams. So, I appreciate you hanging out And yes, Mark C says, I think that is at the root of what troubles these pricks. No pun intended. Yep, they are, right? Haiku says, why couldn't you have given Ben Shapiro a bigger dick? It's true. They have their issues and they inflict them on us rather than just get the help that they desperately need. It's fascinating. All right, guys, listen up. Thank you for hanging out. Let's see what happens this week, how many shows we will have. It's always better to have a show when we get a patron. So if you can become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin, we will keep the show going and growing. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. It's always great to see you. Thank you, Jim, for your super chat. Thank you, JD, for your super chat. Thank you, Mark C, for your super chat. And Matt M, for your super chat. And thank you, Richard W, for your super chat. Always. Thank you. Yes, sounds like a good dream, Robin M says. Exactly. I don't know. What do I do? I think I'm going to watch Last Kingdom on Netflix. I like The Last Kingdom. The first season of The Last Kingdom. I mean, the rest of the seasons are not as good, in my opinion. But the first season, I thought was absolutely excellent. That's why it's been on for a few seasons. I watch it, I enjoy it, but it seems more like cartoonish now. I liked it better when it was real. It seemed more real. Not that you know what I mean, it's not real, but that it was more, I don't know, just had more of a real vibe to it. It got slicker. I think new people did the new seasons. I mean, I love it. Yeah, not love. I like the first season. I loved. If you ever saw it, Last Kingdom on Netflix, watch the first season and then you tell me. What else is on? Oh, and I watched, what else did I watch on Netflix? I watched that Bad Vegan documentary. That was interesting. Docu-series about the One Lucky Duck people. The woman who, she's a chef or something, that ripped off her employees. I remember that. I remember when that happened. They were picketing. But I didn't know the whole backstory. She was like involved with this guy who had her believing that he could make her dog immortal, and she was giving him all kinds of money, and because he was telling her that there was a bunch of people who were watching her at all times, and that if she passed all these tests, which of course included giving him $1.7 million in total, that she would be allowed into their realm, and they would then make the dog immortal, and she would be all powerful. Holy shit. And I can't even get patrons to sign up. You know what I mean? How come I can't get like somebody to, I don't know. Oh, and then the guy was, how do you get people to believe things like that? And she was a smart person. And that's how, it's crazy, the brain, how it works, and how nefarious people get in there, like the QAnon cult and the Trump cult. And then, everything would have been fine. She would have continued to, she had a very successful restaurant and two different restaurants. She did it herself. And a lot of employees, and they loved her, and she was a great person, but she met this con man, and he was going to Foxwoods with the money. All right? High roller. Yes, this is the best chat group. I That's right. It really is. That's why you see, I keep saying I'm leaving, but I'm sticking around. But all right, I got to get unconscious. You noticed Tara Jr. didn't come back? I think he's pissed. We got to have a talk now. Don't you hate that? You ever have a talk with your girlfriend or boyfriend, and then it's like 5 a.m., and you're like, we're still fucking talking about this? That's what it's going to be with me and Tara Jr. No cats behind me. Where are they? All right, my friends. We'll see. Maybe we'll have a show Monday. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. We'll see if we get any patrons. Yes, Suzanne on the chat says copywriting laws. Don't do it. Yeah, it's true. As I was playing it, I'm thinking... It's happened before in the middle of a show, because you can play a certain amount, but if you play I don't know what the cutoff is. They'll just stop the stream. It'll just stop. It's happened before. All right, my friends. I really thank you for hanging out, and thank you, Poppy. Poppy's in the chat still. Nice to see you. And like I say, we will win. We have so much to talk about. It never stops. But if you want to keep the conversation going, you can all go to Discord, too. Remember that. We have a Discord community. The link is in the chat. I hang out there. Others are there. If you want to contact me, you can contact me through that page as well. And, of course, on the patron page. And post your pictures of your cats and your dogs and your friends and your loved ones and yourself. Why do I gotta look like this? I want to see you. All right. We will win. We know that. I know that. They know it. That's why they gotta lie and act like they are us. You notice that? That's how I know we'll win. Because they have to act like they're on the right side of history, you know? They're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, when they're on the exact opposite. They got to pretend they care. Like, oh, we are weeping for you, but... Bullshit. We stick together. We win. Thank you so much for hanging out and for all your support and for your love and for your amazing comments and chat room. And my name is Tara Devlin. We stick together. We win. I'll see you very soon.